Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show.
Brittney Griner is free after 294 days in Russian captivity. The last month spent in one of Russia's notoriously harsh penal colonies. Brittney was traded for Russian arms dealer Viktor Bout, who Vladimir Putin has been trying to get back and who had served 11 years of a 25-year sentence in the U.S. President Biden signed off on the trade, even though it meant leaving another American businessman, Paul Whelan, behind bars in Russia. Griner, a two-time Olympic gold medalist, has been detained in Russia since February when Russian officials found 2 vape cartridges containing hashish oil in her luggage at a Moscow airport when she traveled to the country to rejoin her Russian pro basketball team. She was found guilty in August of trying to smuggle illegal narcotics into Russia and sentenced to 9 years in that penal colony. Griner says she did not intend to smuggle narcotics into Russia and that her doctor had recommended the use of cannabis to treat pain from injuries. In May, U.S. officials said that Ms. Griner was wrongfully detained, adding that they were working aggressively to bring her home. Brittney Griner is free as part of a prisoner swap. And Joe, of course, there will be a lot of questions about Paul Whelan and a lot of questions about the swap itself. But Brittney Griner is coming home.
Well, that is certainly something that every American can celebrate. Great news. The Brittney Griner is free. Wow. Great news for her family, for her loved ones, for everyone who has known her through the years. Let's bring in right now Admiral James Stavridis. And Admiral, we celebrate this and are so grateful and thankful that she is coming home. I can't help, though, and you can't, and I'm sure every American can't help but put themselves in the position of Paul Whelan's family, an American who was improperly, illegally jailed in Russia and has been stuck in jail in horrific conditions since 2018.
Y'all, what's up? You know, I am so happy for Brittney. I am so happy that Biden was able to make this deal. Of course, when you have concessions, y'all. You can't get everything that you want, especially when you have different mindsets and different types of rulings for different lands across the world. And, we all kind of have a sense of feeling that, Russia has always been, harsh and not that pleasing, but at the same time, Brittney's coming home. We're going to wish and hope and pray that Paul Whelan and anybody else that is stuck in a situation like that is freed, just like people here in America. We have corruption and collusion stemming from the municipal side of law all the way to the federal side of law. We see it, unfortunately, we see it with our justices. We see it with our police departments. We see it in the courtrooms. We have to do better as a society. We have to do better as a people, and we have to do better individually. Of course, I believe everything starts at home. Yeah, the proverbial home as well. We can't help ourselves. We can't help others when we can't help ourselves. So if I'm not working, how can I help someone who is hungry on the street and all I want is something to eat? You know what I'm saying? It starts with the individual. Like Michael Jackson said, man in the mirror, woman in the mirror. We have to do better. We have to be better, because when we are better, that exudes out. And all I want to say right now is big ups to the President Biden, big ups to the leader of Russia for making this deal. We are going to hope that Mr. Whelan and anybody else who was locked up abroad and locked up here is freed when they shouldn't even be locked up. Let's just put that on out there. We're going to hope that people who ain't supposed to be locked up is freed. And that goes for this country and others. So again, big ups to Brittney. And I hope that this is look on a little tangent. Let's just hope that the WNBA learns the lesson and that they need to pay their players more. A lot of this could have been avoided if the WNBA paid their players as they should be paid. Now, of course, there are criteria and requirements, but it's just something that seems really odd and off kilter that they're making a whole lot, a tiny fraction of what the NBA players are making. I think there needs to be some type of bridging of that gap. Since the WNBA is a subsidiary of sorts of the NBA owes the WNBA a lot more resources, and that means moolah, greenbacks. Hello. So again, big ups to Brittney. That's just my little spiel that I had to say. Big ups for Brittney. And again, thanks for tuning in. Check out my outro.